Today you'll have the opportunity to learn about the tragic fate of the 12 apostles of Jesus Christ. By the end of this video, your life will be impacted with an even deeper love for the Word of God. However, this transformation will only occur if you open your heart to the divine message. If you've been struggling to understand the Bible, this video will shed light for you. After absorbing all the content presented, you'll undoubtedly feel enriched and enlightened by the Scriptures. The 12 apostles of Jesus Christ were men chosen by him to be his closest followers and eyewitnesses of his life, death, and resurrection. Each of these men had a unique destiny and a fascinating story to be told. Let's explore the circumstances of each of their deaths, revealing the surprising and often tragic details of their final days. Starting with Judas Iscariot, the apostle who betrayed Jesus. After receiving 30 pieces of silver to hand over his master, Judas bitterly regretted his act and, consumed by guilt and remorse, hanged himself. His tragic and lonely death served as an eternal reminder of the consequences of betraying the trust of those we love. In contrast, Peter, the leader of the apostles, denied knowing Jesus 3 times during his passion. However, after the resurrection, Peter redeemed himself and became one of the most fervent preachers of the gospel. According to tradition, he was crucified upside down as he requested to die in this manner, considering himself unworthy to be crucified in the same way as his master. John, the beloved apostle, was the only one of the 12 not to suffer martyrdom. He lived to an old age and died of natural causes in Ephesus after witnessing the ascension of Jesus and receiving the revelation of the apocalypse. His long life and his closeness to Christ made him a legendary figure in the history of the early church. On the other hand, James the Greater, brother of John, was the first of the apostles to be martyred. He was executed by order of King Herod Agrippa I, who ordered his beheading in Jerusalem. His untimely death shocked the Christian community, but also strengthened their determination to follow in the footsteps of Jesus, even in the face of persecution. James the Less, also known as James the son of Alphaeus, was stoned to death in Jerusalem. His violent death reflected the growing hostility of Jewish leaders towards Jesus' followers. Despite the risks, James remained steadfast in his faith, becoming one of the early martyrs of the nascent church. Philip, the apostle who questioned Jesus about how to feed the crowd with only 5 loaves and 2 fish, also faced a tragic end. According to tradition, he was crucified in Hierapolis, Asia Minor, for refusing to worship pagan gods. His death demonstrated the courage and determination of those who chose to follow Christ, even in the face of persecution. Bartholomew, also known as Nathanael, was another martyr. Some sources claim he was flayed alive and then beheaded in Albania, while others indicate he was crucified. His violent death reflects the intensity of the opposition that early Christians faced while preaching the gospel throughout the known world. Matthew, the former tax collector who became one of the 12 apostles, also met a tragic end. According to tradition, he was stabbed to death in Ethiopia while celebrating Mass. His death illustrates the high price that many of Jesus' disciples paid for their faith, being persecuted and murdered by those who rejected Christ's message. Simon the Zealot was another apostle who suffered martyrdom. According to tradition, he was crucified in Persia after preaching the gospel in that region. His violent death reveals the determination of these men to spread Jesus' message to all nations, even in the face of threats and persecution. Judas Thaddeus, also known as Lebbeus or Thaddeus, was killed by blows of an axe in Beirut, Lebanon, according to historical sources. His brutal death was a consequence of his tireless preaching of the gospel, challenging those who oppose Christ's message. As we delve into the lives and legacies of the 12 apostles of Jesus, we're reminded of the power of faith and courage in the face of adversity. If you enjoyed this video and want to continue learning about inspiring figures from Christian history, don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay updated on future content. Also, leave a comment below sharing your thoughts and suggestions for future videos. Your engagement means the world to us. Thank you for watching, and until the next video.